Hey folks, welcome back to another review with yours truly, Sam Healey. Today we're taking a look at a game that is very nostalgic to a video game that I used to play called Dig Dug. And this is a digging game where we're trying to excavate coins and different kinds of gemstones and maybe deliver water and oil. And a game called Big Dig. This is from Tasty Minstrel Games, and it is designed by Scott Huntington and Shaun. It has the feeling of a roll and write, but let's get down to the table. I'll show you how it works, and we'll come back with some final thoughts in just a few moments. So here I have a 4-player game set up for you, and basically you're going to have 3 goals for each game that are going to be randomly chosen out of a deck of 10 different goals that you have available to you. So you can excavate all the coins, excavate or mine all the minerals, excavate the tablet, excavate the fossils, mine all the amethysts, deliver oil, or deliver water. These are all the different goals that you can have in the game that are available to you. And basically the goal of the game is to accomplish all 3 of these goals first. So if we're going to dig out the center here, we're simply going to have to mine out all of these parts of the board in the middle there. Then if you have to explode 5 stones, that means these little gray blocks that are here, you have to explode 5 of those, and we'll get to what that means in just a few moments. This one here says that you have to connect to the pipes. So there's a pipe right here, end of a pipeline right here, and then there's another end of the pipeline right here. You simply have to connect those 2 points by whatever means necessary. So on your turn, you're going to be basically doing 2 things. You're going to first of all take one of the cards that is in the row here and put it in front of you, and then you're either going to dig or explode. When you dig, you're simply going to take the shape that you've chosen and mark it on your player board with your dry erase marker in any configuration that you would like. So you can orient it any way that you want this way, and you can also mirror it, which basically means you take it and you flip the image on its side. The only thing you can't do is flip the card over, because on the other side there's a different symbol or shape that's not being used right now. So for example, if I go in ahead and chose this one for my first character here, they're going to take their dry erase marker, and you have to start from the top, and he's going to put that shape into his thing here. So he's going to mark off 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then this one right here. Now you'll notice that there are 4 players and 5 cards. So once everybody has chosen one card, the first player is going to be able to take a second card and carry out that one as well. So he's going to take this one as well, but he can either choose to dig this, or he can explode one of these gray rock areas. So in this particular case, because we're trying to explode stones and we're also trying to dig out the center, we're going to go ahead and not use this shape, but we're going to use the explode ability and just explode this rock right here, and that will be the end of his turn. Once all of the cards have been taken, the shape cards have been taken, they're returned to the center of the table and flipped over to their opposite sides, so that now we have 5 different shapes that are available for choosing in round 2. The first player moves to the next person in clockwise order, and now the round is continued. And this is how the game is played until, like I said earlier, the first person to accomplish all of these is the winner. So that's about that. It is a very simple game, not difficult at all, but it does have a lot of really neat decisions to make, and it plays pretty quickly, so it's a great filler game as far as that's concerned. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get to my pros and cons. My first pro, as I've already alluded to, is that it is a very fast-playing game. You can get a game of this done in about 15 to 20 minutes, as long as everybody is taking not a whole lot of time on their turn, deliberating on which card they should take to further their digging goals. So I like the fact that it does play that way. You can teach this game very quickly. The rules are not difficult to understand. You simply either dig, you choose a card, and you either dig or explode. That is it. You're trying to reach the goals first. Boom. That's all. This isn't a hard game to understand. And I like it when games do that. It provides a lot of fun, but it doesn't overwhelm you with rules and complexity. My second pro for the game is that it does have a lot of replayability, especially for the weight of game that it is. It has 10 different goals, and you only use 3 of them throughout the course of the game. Now, how you actually play the game and what you have to actually do as you go through the game doesn't change that much. So I'm not talking about that each play is going to feel that much different than the others, but you're trying to accomplish different goals. So how you go about accomplishing them, the routes you take through the earth and so forth and so on, will change from game to game, and sometimes drastically. Mining or excavating all the coins and mining all of the gems is pretty simple. You just have to basically draw a line through all of those different things and you get it. But excavating the stone tablet, that's a little bit different because you have to go around it. You don't go through it. So it's little nuances like that that's really going to affect the replayability of the game. And I like it because sometimes these little filler games, they don't have that much of a different feel from game to game. But I think this one does kind of grasp hold of that replayability and really kind of grabs it by the horns, because I like how the different goals will change how you play the game. Not necessarily the mechanisms, but how you employ them. My third pro of the game really kind of has 2 aspects to it. The first one is component quality. It is good component quality. The dry erase markers in here didn't begin drying out halfway through the first play, as I have had some dry erase markers do in other games. They have held up through multiple plays, and they don't seem like they are drying out at all. So that's good. On top of that, the player boards are double-sided, so you have a couple of different variations in the configuration of the different elements on the board. So that's cool too. And then the cards are decent quality, not the best, but they're good. They're not going to wear out anytime soon, I don't think. Plus, you're not really handling them a whole lot. You're simply grabbing one and placing it in front of you and then putting that shape into your player board. So I think they're going to hold up. The second aspect to this whole idea of component quality is they didn't try to oversell the game, giving it a bigger box than it should have. I mean, all of the stuff that's in this box really is snugly fit. As you can see, the rule book is just the right size. The things that are in the game are just very almost too snugly packaged in here. There's just not a whole lot of extra space that was unnecessary space just to grab a little bit more shelf space in the store. And I like it when publishers make that kind of decision. They're not taking the game too seriously. They are simply saying, hey, this is a filler game. It's a small game. Take it. And I like it when they do that. They don't try to just take up more shelf space in the store or anything like that. So that's my third pro. My only con of the game is the fact that it does kind of lend itself towards analysis paralysis. Because it is a racing game, you're trying to accomplish all 3 of those goals first, fastest, the most efficient way. That's going to push people to try to analyze their choices more than they probably should, and that can detract from the fun of the game. It can also make the game go longer than it really should as well. So there is that. I don't think, again, it's neither here nor there whether it's a game problem or it's a player problem or whatever it is. The fact of the matter is, the way you play this game, it's going to foster analysis paralysis in some people. Most of the time. Stupid. And there really isn't anything that you can do about that. It's not necessarily a problem per se, unless you simply just don't like it when that happens. So that's why I mention it here in the con section, and that's why it's kind of a light con, because at the end of the day, it is just a filler game, and you're not going to spend more than 20 or 30 minutes playing this game. However, if you're an impatient person, maybe, and you just want to boom, 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 come on, boom, 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 then yeah, this is going to annoy you. That's why it's in the con section. So you may have to kind of gently nudge that person along that's maybe taking a little bit too much time to choose what card they're going to or what shape they're going to choose this time. But I don't think it's that huge of a problem, so it is a light con in my opinion, but it is there, and so I do feel like I need to mention it. It could happen, so be on the lookout. So all in all, I'm going to give Big Dig a 7 out of 10. I really did enjoy this, especially as a filler game. I think it offers a lot of really neat decisions for a filler game. It's not just mindless fun. You do have to think, and you do have to employ certain strategies and tactics based on the cards that are represented to you. It has a roll and write feel to it, but it doesn't have the randomness of a die roll. You are choosing the card or shape that you're going to employ that round, and I like it when games do that. It gives you the feel of a very light, very casual game, but it does have some depth that's there. So 7 out of 10 for me. Thank you for joining me. We certainly appreciate it. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas, for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando, in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.